Parking meters, water bills, or paying for things like the art tax. More than 9 million times people turn their credit card over to the city of Portland every single year. But the city just missed its own deadline to prove that they'll keep credit card information secure from thieves.
Our Dan Tilkin looking at whether the city is close to fixing this problem that what's been going on for more than 6 years, Dan?
6 years. And the bad news still is the city still can't prove it meets security standards required by Visa, MasterCard, and the rest of the industry. It is known as PCI. The good news, the city says trust them. It's done. The city of Portland takes in tens of millions of dollars through those millions of credit and debit card transactions, putting it in the top tier of merchants. It came to light more than a year ago. Those transactions have not been safe since 2009. In a scathing report by the city auditor, it wrote, "The city has never complied with all of the standards requirements, and the city has not fully implemented recommendations or remediation steps to secure payment card processing." So where does it stand now?
We're waiting like you are.
Drummond Kahn and the city's auditor's office expected by now to see the reports by an outside security auditor showing whether the city is PCI compliant. City documents show it gave itself a deadline for PCI compliance of December 31st, and work must be completed 3 months before the deadline so auditors will have time to audit the system. That would have been last September. Do you think it's a fair question to ask where these reports are?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. At the same time, the folks we've spoken to who are experts in this payment card industry are telling us that it sometimes takes merchants time to comply, but we know that for the past 6 years the city didn't. We understand big steps have been taken, so now the question is just what will that report show once it's available?
PCI compliance. We asked the mayor where things stand.
As far as I know, we're fine.
The city put us in touch with this man. Where do we stand now with PCI compliance in the city?
In an excellent position.
Christopher Padron was brought in 9 months ago to guide the city's quest for PCI compliance. The biggest accomplishment, the city no longer processes credit cards, and they hired an outside company. That means every time you use your credit card for a city service, the city no longer stores your credit card information. That means it's not sitting there for hackers to get. You're assuring me you are PCI compliant?
Yes.
But you're admitting you missed your deadline to have the paper to prove it.
That is correct. It's a technicality. Our bank is aware of it, the city leadership is aware of it, and our city auditors are aware of it. That we don't have the paper that says, yes, we are. But we have the workflow that demonstrates that we've done all the work.
That workflow took longer than expected. So December 31st came and went. Now the city says it'll be March or April before they'll have the paperwork from their outside private audit to give to the city auditor to finally prove to you you can safely use your credit card to do your business with the city. All right, we should stress that the PCI standard, it's not some lofty goal to achieve. It's actually the baseline that you're supposed to meet to say, hey, we can handle your credit cards. If the city passes, the city auditor says the city will finally join 97% of other merchants who do meet the PCI standard.
Okay, you said a third-party company is handling the processing of the cards. So did that cost the city a lot of money to have someone else process those cards?
I asked that question. They hope it's going to save money because they're more efficient and more experienced doing it.
Okay. That makes sense.
You've done a lot of stories on this already, so.
And we'll check in March.
Keep us updated.